Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Smita and I'm back today with a brand new video on information security. To know more about me, you can visit my LinkedIn profile, which I have mentioned in the description below. Now, before we start on information security, I would like to give a brief overview about Persia Technologies. So, we at Persia provide services in different areas like quality assurance services that includes functional and non-functional testing, low-code development, product development, mobile and web development, and cybersecurity. Within cybersecurity, we also provide services in VAPT, that is conducting vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Now, getting back to our topic, that is information security, this video will give you an overview about information security. Now, let us try to understand these terms differently. Let us first understand what is information. Now, information is an asset which, like other important business assets, has value to an organization and consequently needs to be suitably protected. Now, this definition is picked up from ISO 27001 standard. As per that standard, this information is defined as mentioned, as you can see on the screen. Now, when we say asset is something very critical for an organization. Now, let us try to understand this from a information security perspective. Now, all that is very critical to your business or to your organization which has a value. Okay, so this particular asset has to be protected. Now, let us understand what are different forms of information. Now, information can be in any form. It can be printed, something printed on your paper, something written on your paper. It can be something which is stored electronically, something that is transmitted via post or electronic means like email. It can also be visuals like videos which have some demonstrations, diagrams that talk about your architecture, images, anything. It can be anything that is published on the web. Information can also be verbal when you speak on a phone call. Such phone calls get recorded. Any conversation that you have with your colleagues, knowledge that you have, experience, expertise, and ideas. All of these are different forms of information. Now, before we go ahead and try to understand why we need to really put in efforts for information security, why as an organization needs to really invest in implementing security, before that we need to understand what are the different cyber attacks that are happening. Now, this has become a very critical area that every organization has to really ponder on. Let us look at some statistics. Now, these statistics are pulled out from certain reports by the organizations which are leading into cybersecurity. As per those stats, more than 43% of cyber attacks are targeted at small businesses. So even small to medium scale businesses have to be really vigilant, have to really invest into cybersecurity. As per FBI, $43 billion stolen through business email compromise since 2016. As per Cisco, by 2023, the total number of DDoS attacks, that is, distributed denial of service attacks, worldwide will be 15.4 million. Attacks on IoT devices have tripled in the first half of 2019. Now you can imagine what this number could be in 2022. The annual cost of cybercrime damages is expected to hit $10.5 trillion by 2025. Now, these stats are actually kind of alerts or highlights to organizations to signify how critical it is to implement information security. Now, let us try to understand what are the different elements in security. So, there are three major elements, that is people, process, and technology. Now, when we say people is like who use or have an interest in our information security. It can include shareholders, owners, management, and staff. People can be customers, clients, suppliers, business partners. They can be service providers, contractors, consultants, and advisors, etc. And contradictory part is our biggest threat and our biggest assets are people. Our biggest threat arises from people, like through social engineering, through unethical competitors, hackers, fraudsters, etc. And our biggest asset is also people who are very well aware, employees who are aware about security, who spot the trouble early. Okay. And then comes the processes. Now, processes are work practices or workflows. Those are actually the steps followed or the activities that are followed to accomplish business objectives. It can be the example of process can be information security policies and procedures that define how we secure information appropriately and repeatedly. Example of technology can be like there are a number of examples that we can quote. It can be security technologies. Technology can be operating system, application software, your cell phones, PDAs, etc. Now let us understand why we should really secure information. It is very important to implement information security to protect information against various threats. Now, threat, as per definition by ISO 27001 standard, is a potential cause of an unwanted incident which may result in harm to a system or organization. Now, any organization has to be really vigilant and ensure that they are protecting information against various threats. By implementing information security, it also ensures a business continuity. How? Because your clients, any client would definitely would like to work with organizations or the vendors who are implementing information security, who give importance to security, who give priority to security. This will ensure that, okay, our data or our processes will be definitely secured if we work with such vendors or organizations. It will ensure that there are minimal financial losses and other impacts. It will also ensure that it optimizes the return on investment, because you invest in people, you invest in implementing processes, you invest in technology, in training and awareness and the employees. So definitely somewhere there has to be a return associated with this investment, and how you can optimize it by applying information security. Implementing information security, it will also create more opportunities. As we already discussed, any client would like to work with an organization which is certified as ISO 27001 2013. Okay, this also maintains privacy and compliance. Definitely, if you're compliant with all the standards as per the 27001 2013, definitely it will attract more customers for you. Now, let us try to understand what is a security model. Okay, so information security is all about the triad of these three properties, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now let's try to understand these three terms separately. These terms probably are not new to anyone, uh, but then as per the information security, what confidentiality means is it is making information accessible only to those who are authorized to use it. So it shouldn't be really available to anyone. Okay. Integrity is about safeguarding the accuracy and completeness of information and processing methods. So with information security, we have to ensure the integrity of the information. Okay, so it shouldn't be tampered, it shouldn't be manipulated, it shouldn't be modified. Okay, so you need to safeguard the accuracy and completeness of information. Availability is about ensuring that information is available when required. It should not happen that you are in a critical process and whatever data or the process or the asset that you need is not available when it is supposed to be. So this has to be ensured through information security. Now comes the definition, which is very inclined to the properties that we have seen just now. So it is all about preserving these TRIAD: preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information is information security. Of course, there are other properties which are also important, that is authenticity, accountability, non-repudiation, and reliability. Now we need to understand what is a information security management system. So we have seen what is information security, we have seen why it is important, but then there should be a way of implementing it. Now, how is through this management system? So by the standard definition, an information security management system is a systematic approach for establishing, implementing, operating, monitoring, reviewing, maintaining, and improving an organization's information security to achieve business objectives. Now, if you see the keyword that I use here, you can very well relate this to a cycle, that is PDCA cycle, where you plan, you implement, that is do, you check, that is review, and act, that is you keep on maintaining and improving the information security. And why we are doing this is to achieve the business objective. Now, these points are again very related to the points that we have covered in why we need information security. Similarly, this is what has been mentioned into advantage of ISMS. So it shows that any organization that is implementing ISMS demonstrates a commitment to security. Okay, if you are implementing ISMS, if you are certified ISO 27001 2013, that means you are also meeting the legal and regulatory compliance. It also demonstrates that the organization follows a better risk management approach. This gives a commercial credibility, confidence, and assurance. Definitely reduce cost because you are ensuring to apply all security techniques to safeguard the information. And yes, your organization's employee also have a very clear direction and improved awareness. Now, this is a definition as per the ISO 27001:2013, which we already covered. And this is the list of the requirements, 10 requirements that has to be met if you really want to get certified as ISO 27001:2013. Okay, so it starts with introduction. It has a scope, normative references, terms and conditions, context of the organization, leadership, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation, and improvement. So we will be covering details about all these requirements in a separate session. So this is all about what is information security. I hope this video gives you a fair idea about what is information security, why it is required, and what are the requirements that has to be met in order to be certified as the ISO 27001:2013. Thank you.